Hey there, and welcome back to our channel. Today we have a special video for you, and it's a topic we have never covered before like this, and it's all about regrets. Specifically regrets about moving to Asheville. Now, before we get started, let's make one thing clear. Asheville is a beautiful city, and many people absolutely love living here. However, with any major decision, there can be regrets. So let's just dive in and explore some of the regrets people have shared with me about moving to Asheville. Hi, I'm Beth Schadler, and I'm a realtor here, and we are living in Asheville, where we explore what it's like to live, eat, work, sleep, play in Asheville, North Carolina, and the surrounding mountains. It is my absolute passion and pleasure to help people move to the area. We get calls every day from people who are considering it, so feel free to reach out anytime, and we'll walk you through the process and explore the possibility. Or if you'd like to just learn more in general about Asheville, then hit that subscribe button and click that little bell. That way you'll be alerted every new time we make a video for you. One of the biggest regrets people talk about after moving to Asheville is the cost of living. Sure, the city's beautiful and has a lot to offer, but it can come with a hefty price tag if you're not ready for it, and depending on your perspective and your current lifestyle. Rent prices have skyrocketed, making it difficult to have affordable housing and find rental properties, and this is due to many factors. Inflation and demand here and tourism. We have a ton of Airbnbs. I mean, a ton. When people think of Asheville, they think about getting an Airbnb and bringing their pup and making it a whole experience. So with so many Airbnbs and people with second homes here, there's not much room, no pun intended, for renters to stand a fighting chance unless you have the pockets to back it up. So ultimately, some people come here thinking they're going to have this big spacious area and end up with a roommate or two. And it's not just rent. There's groceries and utilities and even dining out that can be quite expensive compared to other cities because we have great things here. We have award-winning restaurants, a plethora of great musicians that tour through, and wonderful events and great tasting beers. So who would want to miss all this? So if you're considering a move here, make sure to factor in the higher cost of living and even watch our cost of living video as well. And think about how you like to live your life. Would it affect your quality of life if you couldn't afford to do all those things that maybe you can afford to do in another place? The next regret is people who move here expecting to have a career in Asheville. Now, while there are some job opportunities in certain industries like food and beverage, manual labor, education, when it comes to career and business professionals and professions, it can be quite competitive. If you're not in a high demand field or have a solid job offer before moving, it may take longer than expected to find suitable employment. Networking and establishing connections within the community can be crucial to landing a job here. So if you're planning to move for work, do your research and be prepared for some challenges, but go ahead and network early. Or do what most people do here and bring your own remote job and work from home or one of the many co-working spaces like Hatch in West Asheville. Or start your own thing and be your own boss. There are so many entrepreneurs here. It would make your head spin. So there's something about Asheville that draws creatives and artists and free thinkers, and you may be one of them. Then there is the impact of tourism on the city. Most people, when moving to Asheville, are mesmerized by its natural beauty and the mountains and the trails and the waterfalls. You are not the only ones. But as time goes on, some realize that the influx of tourists can be overwhelming, and during peak seasons, popular spots get crowded. So it can be difficult to enjoy the serene outdoor experience that initially drew you here. So it's important to consider the impact of tourism on the city's charm and decide if you're willing to navigate the crowds. Now, here's a little secret. There are plenty of spots that are off the beaten path. You just have to be willing to go the extra mile to find them or know where they are. You could ask a local, or you could join some Facebook groups and immerse yourself in the scene so it can be easy to find those secret spots that have not made it into the guidebooks or online. Just please don't share them. People find it funny when I tell them that the locals don't really hang out downtown in Asheville. We just really don't. There are so many fabulous places in all four corners of the county that it's just really not necessary to go downtown unless there's a certain event that you really want to be at or a restaurant that you want to eat. Downtown is usually a tourist hub, and even though it can be fun and bustling with all kinds of people, it can be a hassle to park or expensive. I paid $18 for 3 hours the other night. I was like, man, if you want to park easily, then you have to pay for it. Otherwise, you kind of have to be a little detective. There are so many other things to do where we largely can avoid the crowds and the tourist scene, and where you get to run into your friends and neighbors and you know people there, and it's quite fun. And then there is the housing market. Another common regret about moving to Asheville is the housing market, or dealing with it, or actually the lack thereof. It's become increasingly difficult to find affordable housing options. The demand for housing in Asheville has surged, leading to rising prices and limited availability, particularly in desirable neighborhoods. So home prices have significantly increased over the past few years, which can put a strain on your budget. So if you're planning to move here, be prepared for a competitive housing market. You can do it, just have your ducks in a row. Start with good research and start early with great advice as well, and a direct search from the MLS, the multiple listing service, from your realtor in Asheville, as it will have more accurate and current information than other searches that you set up on your own. Also, request a recent Asheville market update, which will tell you facts like the average home price in Asheville that month and the current median days on the market. For example, right now in June 2023, the median days on market for a home sale in the Asheville area is 5 days, and the average sales price is $596,000. So this is useful when knowing not only how much house you can afford, but where you can afford it. And then there's the weather. Summers can be kind of hot sometimes and humid, which may not be everybody's cup of tea. If the temperature and humidity levels can soar, making it uncomfortable for some people, especially if they're not used to this kind of climate. But really, we're in the middle of the East Coast, so we get all 4 seasons. We get all 4 seasons, like specifically all 4 seasons. So it's important to consider your preferences when it comes to weather and how well you can adapt to the 4 distinct seasons. Winters are fairly mild here, with temperatures rising and rise into the 60s on sunny days. I've worn t-shirts in January here. However, winters can last a good 3 months. And this year, we even had a little bit of snowfall, and it was super fun, and a couple of frost nights in April, so you just never know. It's a real mix. Now that we've explored some of the regrets people have after moving to Asheville, it's time for you to consider what matters most to you. Remember to visit the city, explore the neighborhoods, and speak to locals to get a first-hand experience before making your decision. I'm also happy to chat with you and give you an in-depth look of what is happening in Asheville, and let me know in the comments below what your concerns are. Feel free to reach out to me via text or email, or simply give me a call. If you want to learn more about Asheville in general, hit that like button and push that little bell so that you will be alerted every time we make a new video for you. Until then, enjoy it all, and ciao for now.